it's time for another edition of Bacon in Your Jammies. Today we're not going to be baking, we're going to be making candy. And it's Christmas season and it is time to start making some goodies. So today we're going to be making an almond brittle, like an almond roca. This recipe is super simple with ingredients. It's 1 cup of sugar, and it can be either white sugar or brown sugar, and 1 cup of butter, that's 2 sticks of butter, and then 1 cup of nuts and 1 cup of chocolate chips. Now you can add more nuts and chocolate chips if you want, but that's the basic recipe. I am using sliced almonds today for my nuts, and I do this on a cookie sheet, so like on my smallest cookie sheet, and I have layered it with a sheet of parchment. And then I just lightly buttered it with the butter wrapper that I took off of my my butter sticks when I unwrapped them. If you don't have parchment paper, it's okay. You can just butter your pan. You can do this in a 9 by 9 pan or a 9 by 13 pan. It doesn't really make a difference at how thick it is, because by the time you spread it out, it's just going to be as big as it's going to be. So do not double this recipe. Make it twice if you want more, and you will want more because this is just really, really yummy. So I have toasted my nuts. So I've taken my sliced almonds and just put them in a frying pan, and just for a couple of minutes, just toss them so that it brings out the flavor. Now you can use chopped nuts, you can use cashews, you can use peanuts, you can use whatever kind of nuts that you want, but I'm using almonds today. I have some really good smoked almonds that I think would be really good. They're salted, and that would just give a different flavor to that kind of salty sweet recipe or combination. So pick your nuts. You can do this without nuts too. You've got your pan prepped, and you really should have a candy thermometer to do this, but you can do it without it. The very first time that I had this, or maybe not the first time I had it, but the first time that I made it was from a recipe from my nurse friend Colleen Tazel, and she said you just cook it until it smokes, and if you get past that point, it's going to separate and it's going to burn. So it is easier to use a candy thermometer, and you take it to 300 degrees. Now my butter and my sugar is just starting to come to a boil here, and you got to pay attention to what you're doing. You have to stir it the whole time once it starts to boil. And it is going to go, it takes a while to get that point. It probably takes 10 minutes from the time you start melting your butter and put your sugar in until it's ready to go. But do not leave it unattended, and I'm going to try not to screw it up here. So it's starting to just get really golden, and I'm going to put my candy thermometer in here. And you gotta make sure that it's down into the mixture there, so that you're getting a good read on it. Once it starts to get to temp, it goes really, really fast. So the other thing you want ready is your cup of chocolate. Now you can use, this is just chocolate chips. You can use Hershey bars. You can use dark chocolate chips, whatever kind of chocolate that you want. You don't have to have chocolate on it if you don't like that. So you want that ready to go. Because as soon as you pour this over your nuts, then you're going to sprinkle on the chocolate, and then the chocolate just melts. If you wait too long to do that, the chocolate will separate from your candy mixture. And again, if you start to see your candy separating, the butter separating from the sugar, you've cooked it too long. So there is an art to it, but it's really easy, and it is so yummy, worth it. Now, the other thing that I've seen is that you can put chocolate chips in your nut mixture too. I'm going to just keep mine plain with my nuts, but if you like it that way, be creative. Alrighty, I'm just going to tip this a little bit to see where my temp is. I'm at 210, but it starts to go fast, and you sure don't want to burn it. So I remember when Colleen told me that, she said, do it just till it smokes. And I'm like, is it smoking? Is it steaming? Whatever. But you will get to know that when you make it, if you don't have a thermometer all of a sudden, and you might burn a batch or two. It'll kind of go poof and give a little smoke, and it's like, take it off quick and pour it in your pan. Alrighty. It's a bubbling, and it's getting golden here. And I usually use white sugar when I do this, but I have made it with brown sugar and it's just as good. It's just a little bit richer, a little bit darker. especially if you use dark brown sugar. But what could be easier? A cup. A cup of butter, a cup of sugar, a cup of nuts, a cup of chocolate. I think I'm in a candy mood today, so I might be posting a few videos today of other candies. Finally got my decorating done. Okay, I think we're there. We're right at 300 and it is starting to smoke, and now we've got to work really quickly. Ooh. It's gone to this just golden color. Super hot, so be careful. And now just take your pan and just drizzle it on the pan over your nuts. It even smells a little different when you get to that point. Then you may burn a patch or two. Just have to be really, really careful. Okay. So don't always get it over all the nuts that you have there. And then while it's hot, you're gonna just take. So now I'm just gonna take my chocolate chips and just put them right on top. And those will melt. And just give them a minute or so. And once they're melted, then just take your offset spatula and or a spoon or a knife and just spread them out. And then just let this cool. You can put it in the fridge if you want. That's the hardest part, is just to wait. And it'll get crunchy, it'll get toffee. And then you're gonna just break it and eat it and love it. So there you go. Almond toffee, or toffee with almonds, I guess is what we have today. Enjoy.